Hey, and welcome to The Solid Verbal. Now would be a perfect time to consider subscribing. Yeah, that little subscribe button for year-round premium college football content. That's it. Here's the video. Enjoy. Subscribe.
You mentioned the Texas thing. Oh my gosh. Texas wins 49-0. 49-zip. 49-zilch over Oklahoma. Dillon Gabriel did not play. He had the head injury. We talked about it on the preview. Davis Bevel, the Pitt transfer, got the start. He was 6 of 12 for 38 yards and a pick. Not good. The offense gained 195 yards. Obviously very limited. Obviously not very good. Who would have thunk we'd be sitting here talking to you on October the 9th now, 2022, talking about how Kansas has better quarterback depth than Oklahoma. Not me. Did not expect that twist. But all that being said,
guess who just got murdered?
Holy crap, Dan. This is the worst shutout loss in the history of Oklahoma football. It eclipsed a 47-0 shutout that occurred back in 1945. So it's been a minute since we saw a loss quite like this. Texas had almost 600 yards. Quinn Ewers did come back. He threw 4 touchdown passes. Bijan Robinson, 130 and 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma just never had a shot. They never had a shot. And I know we're going to look at the score and we're going to say, wow, they couldn't stop Oklahoma, or they couldn't stop Texas, and what's wrong with the Oklahoma defense? We should talk for a minute about the fact that Oklahoma did not score at all, even with backups, against the Texas defense that we have not been talking about as a particularly good defense this college football season.
Correct.
Is that a fair statement by you? By me?
It's been up and down. I think there are a lot of underlying things about, like, I think they've tackled better. I think they have lined up and have been more organized better over the course of the season, but the results haven't always been there. But I think some very specific things that Texas has done points to the fact that they are improving on defense, right? Look, you can look across the field to see a team that hasn't improved on defense. Now, they're put in a tough spot, as you mentioned. No, Dillon Gabriel, the offense able to generate precisely nothing. Also, a bit of an askance view of Oklahoma at the top of the show saying, nothing too surprising. 49-0 Texas. Not surprising. Thanks for that, Oklahoma.
It wasn't surprising that Texas won, but certainly within this game, the manner in which Oklahoma lost, that was surprising. Did not expect that.
They tried to do different stuff. And that different stuff included Eric Gray throwing a jump pass for a horrific interception, which he was so stunned and ashamed mid-play, he just put his hands over his head and his helmet.
I tweeted it out. It looked like he was shooting a jumper, a foul shot.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. No, an incredible performance from Texas across the board. You know, Jatavian Sanders continuing to emerge, Xavier Worthy, like all these guys stepping up, Bijan Robinson, Roschon Johnson. It was just wall-to-wall fun for the Texas Longhorns against Oklahoma in a year in which we were subjected to, it's not crazy to say Brent Venables is an upgrade. Well, 0 points later. Let's give it some time.
Yeah.
But that is, it's easy to say that was rock bottom. But is it? Yeah. Like, rock bottom is not letting this year's iteration of Texas's offense, when Quinn Ewers starts, score a bunch of points. It's somebody else scoring a bunch of points that perhaps shouldn't. So we'll see. It's an uphill climb. I'm positive Brent Venables and the Oklahoma staff and recruiting department will fill this roster with an incredible amount of talent, and that we're in the midst of a low point. The question is, what does the ceiling look like at this point? When Dillon Gabriel is a short-term answer and fix at quarterback, what does it look like bringing in quarterbacks and defensive scheme and defensive coaches? Like, the expectation is Oklahoma competes near the top, at the top of the SEC long term. That's the expectation, which is totally fair. This is a playoff caliber program. At least it has been in the Big 12. And so I just think the volume, we're ticking the knob up a little bit on what is Oklahoma going to be under Brent Venables? We're just ticking that volume up a little bit. That's all.
Just turning it up a notch. You joked about, it's not my joke. Maybe the SEC puts together sort of like an Arizona Fall League, a developmental league. Something that something that Oklahoma can play in before they get promoted into the SEC.
Just to get some rhythms, right? Some training wheels as you prepare to enter that next phase of a league for your program. Yeah.
But by the way, the Texas schedule from this point forward, now they're on a bye week next week as well, but their final 6 games open up a lot of possibilities for the Longhorns. They already have 2 losses. They're 4-2. They lost to Texas Tech and, of course, Alabama back in week 2 by 1.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of Iowa State, they've got Oklahoma State on the road, Kansas State on the road, TCU at home, Kansas on the road. They close out the season back home with Baylor. So that's a rough 5-week stretch.
Sure.
For the Longhorns. And I suspect before long we'll find out a lot about what they're truly made out of. Quinn Ewers back now. It was good to see him out there healthy. He looks pretty good. I mean, he's got it.
Really good.
He looks really, really good. So as long as he can stay healthy, and if the defense can continue making some strides, I'm excited to see what this team's stealing is as well.
I can't wait. Whether it's this year, whether it's next year, there is going to be a conversation of, so I guess we got to pay Sark $93 million. Like, again, I don't know if it's this year or next year where they go 9-3 regular season, 10-3 with a bowl win, 10-2, and then it goes to 11-2. And like, I guess we have to pay him all of the money. And maybe it'll turn out to be an unbelievably shrewd and smart decision. And they continue this momentum in the SEC. But also, there's going to be a series of dice that are about to be rolled if these types of results continue.
Is there a world in which Texas, let's say, goes 9-3 and looks promising on offense? A&M gets impatient and fires Jimbo Fisher, paying him $95 million, whatever his buyout is.
Right.
And A&M tries to make a play for Steve Sarkisian.
Probably not. That's too far. There's more pride in College Station than to go after the Texas quarterback or Texas head coach. But I like where your brain is at, Ty. I do.